Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the...
Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure review we're going to be looking at the 2016 botcon terrorsaur figure. So what I'm going to do in a minute, I'm going to unbag him from here, and basically this is a sealed product, so we're going to take him out, we're going to have a look at all the contents inside, we're going to have a look at how he displays in which mode, we're going to have a look at other guys that have used the mould either before him and just after him as well. And of course, we'll point out any things that you need to be aware of if you're looking for purchasing one yourself. So, as I said, this guy is a 2016 botcon attendee exclusive. It was a freebie if you went there. Now, I obviously didn't go there. And for anybody who's just seen my video regarding the UK Transformers convention that I went to, that is exactly where I picked this guy up. And I know that people like to keep these sealed, and to be honest, if it's a if it's a generation 1 figure, I like to keep them sealed. Obviously I'm not going to open them, but I think figures like these, well, they're in bags so you can pretty much see them, and I want to see them. So yeah, so I'm going to be going through lots of my botcon figures soon, because I like to display them because they are that bit quirky, and of course they are a fantastic variants. The other reason that I like, and especially this, is that I was lucky enough to actually purchase a Dawn of Predacus gift set straight away from the Collectors Club before it did in fact fold or end, whatever I think happened with it. So we might as well have a quick look at this, and believe it or not, it looks like there's a bit of an instruction sheet there for Predacus as well. So for those of you unaware, Predacus was a huge combiner using pretty much the Combiner Wars figures built to make a giant robot. But here's his instructions, as you can see. And the real reason why I've got this is because it's the only terrorsaur figure that I own. I don't own the Beast Wars one. What I'm going to do is hold that there, and I'm going to be nice and quiet and say pause. So if you want to read that, you obviously can. And of course, I've got the other terrorsaur figure on pre-order, which is part of the golden disc. So it's going to be nice to be able to do a comparison with this particular guy. So for those of you again who are unaware, botcon figures, what they are, and these are right up my alley, they are redecos of existing figures, and of course I love variants and redecos. So this is, I'm going to have a look at him in a bit more detail in a second, a redeco with slight retool of Combiner Wars Skydive. So if he's looking very familiar, that's pretty much exactly why. The interesting thing you'll notice though is straight away with this, he didn't actually come with the either foot or hand accessory that all of the other Combiner Wars figures actually did. Okay, let's move him out of the way. So we can see he's a red F-14 Tomcat fighter jet, and yeah, I like it. Look at it, it's lovely. Look at the detail on the front. I suppose they're giving it a bit of a terrorsaur look. Let's just make sure this is clicked in. Everything's all thick. Well, so I say, you can see already that this is quite loose, unfortunately for me. There's a great colour scheme there though. There's his head. We're going to have a look at him in a bit more detail in a second anyway, but there's his beautiful alternate mode. With him being a Combiner Wars figure, he can actually as well transform into a limb, so he could be a leg or a arm. But what we're going to do now, we're going to have a look at him in his robot mode. Just something very quickly before we go to robot mode then, and it is of course showing you where you can attach the accessory that comes with him. We can attach this on the roof for the standard mode like that, but of course because it's a 5mm peg, and as you can see we've got quite a few holes, you can actually put them under the wing. Obviously this doesn't look as good though because he's only got one, so it just looks a little odd, but of course you can use other Combiner Wars figures as well to put under both. You've got the side of the forearm as well if you want to just about raise the wing slightly like so, and of course you've even got his hands. So there's so many different ways and places if you wanted to, and again with the use of the other figures you can use and combine the weapons on these in as many ways as you want to, I suppose. Right, okay, he will be in robot mode when we come back. So yeah, here he is in robot mode, and before we have a quick look at him, I thought it'd make much more sense for the video if I actually got Predacus down. And this is of course Predacus, as you can see, and you can tell straight away that it's a Combiner Wars figure. And again, it's using redecoing and slight retooling a lot of the main figures from the Combiner Wars, which was again of course huge around about 2016. And it was a botcon exclusive, so if that's why you've not seen it, that'll be the reason. The beauty of this is what I do really like about this particular set as well, and to be fair, all of them, they totally took the Scramble City moniker. Basically, with the Generation 1 figures, some of the figures are known as Scramble City, and that basically means that the individual robots, apart from the main leader, of course, can become any of the limbs. So this guy, I'm not going to do the full transformation, I'm going to keep the length of the video quite short, but this is his main connector here, you can see there. So if I was to spin it up there, and fold the arms and the legs together exactly like this jet, you can see there that this would then be able to connect to be an arm. Whereas on the other hand, we could turn it all the way up, we could fold the legs, again I'm not going to do it fully, we could fold the legs all the way up like so, and then he would of course be able to be a leg. And I love the fact that you can do that, and I love the fact that it can be either or, which again is basically a brilliant homage to Scramble City, and in fact the actual meaning of course scrambling the limbs. But let's have a look at this guy in his robot mode then. Oh, his head's just got caught there. The transformation process, by the way, will be put in a separate video, so you'll be able to see it if you do really want to. So let's have a look at this guy's head sculpt. That's lovely. It's really good. I like that. I love the fact you've got these silver, of course, on the shoulders. The articulation in it's brilliant. You can see you've got ball and socket inside the shoulder there, elbows backwards and forwards, ball and socket in the hips, knees bending forwards. We don't actually have an ankle tilt or a rock, anything like that. And of course the wrists are locked. To be honest, these are quite basic figures for them being deluxe, with the transformation process again being quite similar and simple, but it's just a good figure. And I just like the whole concept of this Predacus and Predacons, etc, etc. This was the gun that came with him, and of course this will just fit straight in his hands if you wanted to, or of course you could then put it onto his forearm like so. It's up to you how you want to display it, but there he is. A great figure. Do really like him. Yeah, there you go guys. So he was an exclusive, so if you've never seen him before, again, botcon 2016. And then funnily enough, just before we end this, they did use the mold again, but this was again for another exclusive figure, and this was this guy here. So as you can see, pretty much using it again. And this guy is of course the Wrecker Fractal, and that was used again as part of the subscription service, so you might not have seen him before either. But there you go guys, I hope you enjoyed looking at him. You never know, you might go want to try and track these guys down as well. The botcon figures, as I say, they're just brilliant. They're just nice little redecos of some popular characters and figures that you've probably seen before. Hope you enjoyed looking at him guys. Take care. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.